Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and this is WPwatercooler's WPblab, episode number 100. 100! Right, Bridget?
Yeah, I'm clink with my coffee.
Clink, clink. There you go.
I know.
So, man, episode 100. So we got some folks to join us on the show, which is going to be awesome. We got some people that are just going to randomly pop in. We're actually going to put this this video, this actual Hangout address in the chat. So if you wanted to come join us, feel free to do that as well. And we got some awesome folks. Cheryl and Sherry LaPrade are going to be helping us out with all of our show notes, which is going to be awesome as well. So, Bridget, let's start off. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Bridget Willard. I'm a freelance marketing consultant. I am a team rep for the Make WordPress marketing team. I'm super excited about the things that we're doing, working with the Growth Council. And I have a special for BridgetWillard.com. What is that special, you ask? I will write your speaker bio for $25. Fast PayPal cash. I did it on a fluke, and people are like, "Oh my God, you'll write my bio? I hate this." I'm like, "Yes, I will." Boom, 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 boom. Now my dog's sitting money, and I will see you in Raleigh.
Nice.
Not you personally, obviously. But.
Could they like schedule it out so like you'll have one for every WordCamp that they're going to speak at? Because I really think it's a good idea to change these things every time you speak, especially if you're going to be talking about a very specific topic. Make it sound like you know what you're talking about, and make that bio actually kind of work well with that.
It kind of goes with what we're talking about tonight, Jason, because as we learn and grow and teach, our bios learn and grow.
Yeah, that was the whole subhead to this, was lifelong learning with our community, which is totally true. Totally true. All right, before we get into that, I might as well introduce myself. I'm Jason Tucker. You can find me over at Jason Tucker. My website is jasontucker.blog. I'm actually thinking about maybe converting that thing over to micro.blog just to try something totally new. And it's a WordPress related thing, but I want to try changing everything to something totally different. Maybe it might get me to actually blog a little bit. And let's see here. What else? You can find me on Instagram. Check me out on Instagram. I'm actually posting stuff over there, so go check that out. I'm Jason Tucker on there as well. So let's get some guests in here. How about that, Bridget?
Well, let's tell them about what we're going to do.
Sure.
So we're going to bring our guests in one at a time, and we're going to spend a couple minutes talking about what they've learned, like one thing that they really learned in the last 3 to 6 months. And then we'll let them go back in the green room, and then we'll bring back the next person. And if we have time at the end, we'll bring everybody back for our tool or tip of the week at the 45-minute hour. And this show right now is not sponsored, but it could have been. So if you want to be a sponsor of the WP Watercooler Network, you know how to get to us. WPwatercooler.com/sponsors. It's a really great opportunity for you to engage with your brand awareness campaign. We're not responsible for your marketing campaigns, but we can help get your brand in front of your customers, the WordPress community.
Yay! Awesome. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. All right. So what's funny is, let's see here. This is at some point kind of like this weird little dating game type thing. All these folks, if I remember correctly, are all taken, Bridget, unfortunately. So maybe we're just kind of testing this out here a little bit.
Sucks.
Let's start with Russ real quick. Russ, you'll need to unmute yourself, and then you should be able to pop in here.
Hey.
Hey, Bachelor number 1.
Hi, contestant.
I just thought about this for a minute because
one WordPress plugin and you on a deserted island, what would it be?
It would be revive old tweets, so you can always like see my old memories of how much I love you.
That's actually a good answer.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Well, just for a couple minutes. Oh my gosh, that was funny.
Let's see here. Jason. We had Russ on a few times, and in the beginning he was on like every single week answering questions with us when we were doing the show. It's a Q&A show.
I got in on the ground level. I was the janitor, and so when we make $1, I have at least a penny coming my way.
Nice.
Your logo here.
I just want to tell you, believe in your WordPress dreams. You will make it.
Actually, that's true. I mean, you had a different job then, and I had a different job, and now I'm a business owner, and you're at a really bitchin' plugin company. You want to talk to us a little bit about where you've been from 2015 to now?
So it starts with my girlfriend. Like, she's amazing. I met Jill, and she let me go. She just said, like, whatever you need to do, and I just started writing code. And I left this company. I was working dog hours, and I was tired. I was doing good stuff, but like I wasn't creative. I didn't think I even had a. I shut up. All right. I didn't think
no,
I had
Alexa.
Yeah. I didn't think I had a chance to work at a company like at WebDev at all, man. And I met the right people. I answered the right questions, and I've been here 2 years. And in like 2 weeks, it will be 2 years.
That's
awesome. I love that photo that you posted on social media today about how you were in a car with like all the folks from WebDev Studios back before you even thought about it.
Yeah, like I don't want to get into it because it's crazy, but like I've been
yeah, but it was just a cool photo. I just saw that and was like, whoa.
I've been analyzing my life, and like it's been showing me things, and like I should have known that I would have this job like then, man. Like, you go check out my Instagram /CrashCartMedia.
So I know that you've learned a lot about parenting.
So much.
And congratulations on Jameson. He is adorable.
Thank you.
But like, could you just quickly tell us something that like this is something we do in Women Who WP, and I transferred it over to this idea, like, because here's the thing. We all have imposter syndrome because we're all learning on the job. This whole social media, coding thing, all the things that we do is OJT, right? And so, like when you and I talked about learning code the WordPress way, you said you don't learn guitar for some 7th grader on YouTube. You go watch Eric Clapton. Yeah. So if you want to learn the WordPress way, go the Codex, right?
Yeah.
So that just stuck in my head. So can you tell us something that would like the audience could benefit from? No, I mean about anything that you've learned, like WordPress wise. And I just had to mention Jameson because that's also a big different thing in your life.
So the thing that I know about WordPress is that if you are ever having errors, you have 3 options: make a backup, and then start turning things off and on until something else happens and it either works or it doesn't work. Number 2, have a staging site and hire somebody like a trusted source who does support, and they will guide you in the right direction. And number 3, honestly, just reach out to somebody. Like, there's smart people. Don't like just try to reach out to myself, because like I have a lot of people. Reach out to people like Bridget. She can help you. There's so many people that can help you in this community. Like, lean on everybody else.
Definitely lean on other people, especially the ones that have traveled this road way before you as well, and the folks that have either been successful or even the ones that have failed at it. Ask everybody about this stuff. Everyone's had a success story and a failure story, and they can tell you exactly what to do and what not to do. And
I kind of feel like WordPress is a little bit like Bitcoin. Like, you can have one good idea, and like you can surge to be like $20,000 per Bitcoin, man. Like that's what your plugin could be, basically. Like, you just have to have a good idea, and all the tools you need like are downloadable for free, and like you're just wasting your time if you don't want to do it,
Okay, well, I don't know about the Bitcoin analogy, but
dude,
because there's some ethical situations with Bitcoin.
Put your heart into it, and like WordPress is so cool. You're gonna love it. I promise.
Buy, sell.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so that is a good tip, and we are gonna put you back in the green room, Russ.
What do you think, Kevin or some other guy here?
Let's take Kevin, because we know that James is in it for the long haul.
James is in it for the long haul. He's always in it for a long haul.
I feel like I cut the line.
You didn't cut the line. I just decided what the line is. This is not a democracy. It's definitely an autocracy. Well, I let Jason
democratizing Hangouts.
We're not democratizing anything.
What's going on, everybody?
How's it going?
Good. You know, I was just going to retweet your show link, and I was like, I remember WPblab when it was on Blab.
Yeah, when we didn't have a choice and everybody just jumped in.
Yeah.
Did you watch or were you on the show that time when Roy hopped into some Slack and then posted the link in there and like the whole room instantly filled with people and we were like, what the hell just happened? It's like he just DDoSed us. It was the coolest freaking thing ever.
Blab was an interesting beast. You never knew who was popping in.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was like chat roulette.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it actually that for the most part, that's pretty much how that thing worked. Was the simple fact that people would just want to, chat with somebody, kind of CB or ham radio style, and just like hop on and say, "Hey, who's here that can talk to me?" And they just hop into one of these rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, with CB and ham radio, you don't see a bunch of naked dudes like trying to like show their stuff off or nothing, and that's kind of what was happening on there. Yeah, so we got to be we lucked out. I mean, we record this stuff live to tape. We don't edit. We don't do anything. So it's funny to see how that whole thing kind of happened there.
Yeah, I was giving a talk at WordCamp Pittsburgh and was kind of going. So WordCamp Pittsburgh was like a funny thing because I ended up keynoting on a couple of days' notice by accident. That was back during hurricane season. Unfortunately, Adam Warner couldn't get up from Florida, and I basically had nothing to talk about on 2 days' notice, and told my journey. And it kind of started with Blab, with WPblab.
Aww.
So
that's awesome.
Because you guys are always such proponents of WordCamps and attending WordCamps, and I had never given a talk about anything. I had never even been to a WordPress event at that point when I started listening to you. And Bridget was, encouraging everyone to go to WordCamps. And the first talk I actually gave was not even in person. It was over another Blab for WordCamp Boulder, Colorado, Angela Bowman's group.
Oh,
wow.
She reached out, so I hopped on a Blab there and talked about responsive images. And that was around the time it was just responsive images were coming out in WordPress. And I got all confident, was like, I'm going to host my own Blab. Like Jason and Bridget are doing it. Angela's using it. So I go in like the Advanced WordPress Facebook group. And I'm like, I'm going to give a Blab session on responsive images. Hop in and join me. So I go live and no one's there. I just start talking for like 30 minutes, I think. Not a single person showed up.
Oh.
And I never used Blab, so I didn't know how to record it. And that goes down to history. Well, it didn't happen, basically. But it was just like, it was this realization I had that I wasn't putting things on the record. Like I wasn't writing blog posts. I wasn't sharing my work. I was always in the moment. I would help people like on a whim on Facebook groups and Twitter and stuff like that. What I realized is like, people aren't always on your time. Right?
Yeah.
Like this whole idea of like asynchronous learning. It's like I have value to offer, but it doesn't mean that the person on the receiving end is ready for it in that moment. So it was like this whole journey towards like my first blog post. So I called it like my 7-year blog post because I had been working with WordPress for 7 years before I wrote my first post at WordPress. Yeah.
That's the opposite. Like I started as a blogger. That was my beginning of WordPress. So like that's just how variety, like the variation of the community. Start by coding, start by writing, and then switch back over. Well, I started coding yet, but
yeah, I tell a lot of people like, what you do before your morning coffee is like took me 7 years, and I'm sure it's vice versa for other things, other aspects of my work. But I think a lot of people resonated with that, that like things that are easy for some people or, Mount Everest for others. And it was just really cool to look back at that journey and all these like little pieces that came together, starting with Blab and then WordCamp. And then WordCamp was where I met, Devin and Jason from Give, where I work now, and then met Bridget in person. worked with her, and it was just a cool series of events.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you want to share anything I know you're like deeply into Gutenberg.
I am.
Is there anything you like wanted to share with our audience, like a nugget or like a little tool thing before we throw you back to the green room, Kev?
Yeah, so I've stepped back from Gutenberg a little bit, just because I think it's on its path at this point. And well, one thing I have been getting more involved in is like team management. So we've adopted this agile workflow at Give, and we're kind of doing it out in the open. So if you go to like github.com/wordimpress/give, you can see our wiki is filled with like all these pages that document how we're going about this workflow. So some of you might know we have a big remote team at Give. Well, not big, but we have about 6 people around the world, and 6 in India, 1 in Pennsylvania, and then 1 in California, as far as our development team goes. So doing agile development, like from a remote perspective, where the whole idea is like a stand-up every day is when people get together and stand in a room together and say what they're working on, what's blocking them. And it's been interesting to adapt that to the remote life. So that's been an interesting workflow. And what we've learned from it is we start to prioritize things a lot differently. It's not just what comes next, like in a waterfall approach. Right. It's like, what's the latest bug that was reported? But okay, what do we want to accomplish in this 2-week period? And so we've started to knock out issues that have been around for like years within Give by doing that. So
sweet.
If you're interested in that kind of thing, check out our wiki. It's all out there.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kevin.
Cool. But thank you both so much.
Of course, we love you. You know that.
I love tuning in. I love the inspiration. So keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Inspiring others.
All right.
Okay, let's bring on our next green room person, Jason Tucker, Mr. WPU.us himself, James Tryon from something about amused, easily amused. I was going to say creativity included, but that's Chris Ford. Right. Go quit your day job. I won't. Any of them. Hey, James.
Hey, James.
Hey, everyone. How are you?
Fabuloso.
Good to have you on.
Me too, except I misplaced $60 earlier this week, and I have no idea where I put it in the house.
It's not in here.
Maybe Russ invested it in some Bitcoin. Maybe that's what happened.
No, honestly, Russ will experience this soon. I have little ones running around. I bet they were like found something on the floor, and they're like, "Oh, I want to help," and like either threw it away or hid it somewhere.
It's in the toy box.
Your kids aren't old enough yet, but my kids would steal it and then they'd run outside and go buy something from the ice cream man who was driving around playing Christmas music. So I don't know if that's just a California thing or not, but that's pretty much what happens around here.
We got the ice cream man, but I don't know.
Ours like weirdly plays Christmas music. He'll be driving around playing like, Santa's Claus is coming to town, and you're like, for real, dude? It's like July.
It's like ours is a drug dealer,
what the heck's going on?
Whatever.
Right. It's a 2-for-1 sale, for this. It's like, oh, geez.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so James, you've been like on and off the show all the time, doing show notes, always chatting with everybody in the community. Like, there's no community. There's no community. Like, I master the obvious. You have to be, you have to have relationships. And I talk about this a lot. And for a long time, Blab was a virtual meetup because I drive 35 miles to go to my meetup. That's an hour or an hour and a half. Some people just can't or won't, or there's nothing even that close, right? So it's really cool that we have these technology tools that allow us to have relationships, because it's the human faces, and that's the power of video. There's so much communication you lose from text only. And I just love that you're a part of this Blab community. And I know that we have learned a lot from you, and thank you for all the times you've been on the show. I mean, 100 episodes since October of 2015. That's pretty awesome.
Crazy. It feels like it just started. Like, and Jason was talking about how Roy like trolled the group and shared the link, but that felt like that was like a couple weeks ago. Like, it's crazy how fast it goes. And not to put you guys on the spot, but you have a show, I get upset. That's my Thursday night. I'm gonna hang out with everyone, and now there's no show. I'm like, oh man, I just start the hangout so we can chat. We don't have to, I look forward to it. And the wife's cooking dinner. It's like, oh, hurry up, we got the blab in 20 minutes. We have to go. It's on the schedule, man. Like, I don't have cable, but I got the blab, and it's the community, and it's great. I enjoy everyone's company. I enjoy talking to everyone. Then we get to interact with each other throughout the week and hangouts on social media through Facebook and Twitter. But then we get to actually just talk and joke with each other on Thursday nights. Yeah. It's like even though we're across the country, I don't know. I feel like we hang out every week.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Which is it kind of messes with my head a little bit, because I'll be at a WordCamp, and it's a WordCamp that all of you are all at the exact same time. And I see you, like, I even saw you when we were at WordCamp US, and I just said hi to you as if it was nothing. Even though, like, I flew across the whole damn country to go see you. You flew up to where you came from, and we met in the middle, essentially. And I was like, yeah, hey, how's it going? Whatever, dude. Cool.
Oh man.
It was like, I felt weird after, because my daughter was like, she's like, who's that guy? And I was like, oh, I see him all. I don't see him all the time. I don't see him all the time. I see him all the time, but I don't physically, in the same space at all. Yeah. That messes with me. It also messes with other people as well, where other people will come up to me and start talking to me as if we had a conversation. And they're like, so blah, 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 something about whatever the topic is, episode 100 Mastermind, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, what? And then I'm thinking, not to say that there is any celebrity status in this whatsoever. There is not. But just the idea that somebody walks up to you and will quote you a movie line. And if you're like a famous actor, they'll quote the movie line. You have to go through and go like, what the heck movie what movie did I say? Did I say that movie? Is that my line, or was that somebody else's line? I could totally sympathize, but having somebody just walk up and say like, oh man, that was crazy what Say did that one episode of blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you just watched that, and I experienced that 3 years ago. It's weird. It's a weird time shift thing. It's like watching somebody's life in a weird time shifted environment. It's really weird. Like my life in TiVo kind of thing. Very odd.
Yeah. I mean, you could see like your beard getting grayer as you should take an episode, just a screenshot from each episode, and do a quick time lapse of
exactly
haircuts and styles.
And my hair getting longer.
Yeah, no joke. You had short hair. You had like a pixie cut back when we started.
Totally. And it was just so funny because I was looking at some of the stills. Like, dang, the only thing that you could count on is I am gonna change my hair. That's pretty much it, Yeah,
I had a script that I wrote that would download each episode of the show, and it would take out the first 15 seconds of the show, and it would just play it in one long succession. And I tried to use that as an intro one time, and it was me saying the same thing over and over again. Hi, this is Jason Tucker. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying that over and over again, and you can see that progression that you were just talking about, and it was just kind of like, wow, that's really weird. I don't know.
So James,
sorry for job, Bridget.
Make us have some wisdom.
Well, I don't have a lot of wisdom right now.
Of course you
besides, I've thoroughly been enjoying an hour of day doing yard work. And I think if you would just get away from your desk for an hour a day and go work outside, like I'm starting to actually crave that. Like I'm like, oh, I can't wait to pick up and to work tomorrow. So like at 7 o'clock, I've been going out till it gets dark. I'm actually spiting the HOA, so I don't get in trouble for my front yard. I'm digging it all out and putting mulch down. So I'm just like digging up the grass a little at a time. And I cleared a path because the mulch was dumped on my sidewalk. So
oh yeah,
I saw those photos. That was the funniest dig thing ever.
So I guess the knowledge is understand the rules and work within the guidelines of the rules, and then enjoy the little things and do a little exercise. You'll feel good. That's my word of wisdom. And
I sympathize with you in that, I live in an environment that doesn't have, we don't have snow days. Like we don't have the ability to like go put all this stuff out in front of our house or have this stuff dumped in front of our house and then do something creative. And it just cracked me up to see like you essentially having a snow day with mulch in your front yard. That was just the funniest damn thing ever.
Well, he could have just dumped it off 10 feet back and we wouldn't have had that problem. But, now I have something to do from 7 to 8. So it's... No, I'm joking. I've been enjoying it. And the mulch is free, by the way. It was a Facebook ad, just a truckload of mulch. It's like, so yeah.
No way.
That's awesome.
Or something like that. Not sponsored, but free mulch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been great. But like everyone else said, it has been enjoyable. I appreciate whatever you guys have been doing. I really like the water cooler. It was a great show, but I found Blab to be my home. Like it's something I enjoy and I really look forward to. I appreciate everything you guys do and finding more guests and just all of it. It's something I look forward to. I know if I miss it, I feel bad. If I caught myself driving a couple times, it's like, oh no, I'm missing it. I'll be home shortly, and I have to check in to make sure everyone knows I'm okay. But all in all, I really do appreciate you guys. I feel like you guys are family, and it's something that it helps the community as a whole. It is part of that WordPress community.
It's the WordPress Ohana.
It is.
And it's true. It's true. No, but it is true. Like, so last year when I was going to go to WordCamp Europe, I was like, if I have a panic attack because I'm lost, is any of my friends going to be there? And Adam Warren was like, I'll be there. And then somebody else, I'll be there. Oh, my other person will be there. Oh, this person. Oh, I'll be like 1 hour away. Here's my mother's phone number. Here's like I had this like 10 deep resources. And I was like, just knowing that there could be somebody I could call was awesome. And the WordPress community is no joke. And that advice is no joke. Actually, that's part of my advice at my keynote at Raleigh on Saturdays. So not the yard work specifically, but
yeah,
because I don't have a yard and plants should never depend upon me. My dog tells me when I forget to take them out. So like plants don't talk to you. Anyway, let's thank you, James. We're going to throw you back in the green room and let's bring in Roy. Everybody say hi, Roy. Hashtag hi, Roy.
You have to unmute yourself, Roy. How's it going, man?
What's going on?
And then right after you, we're definitely going to bring everybody else in because they're all freaking out in the chat. They're like, "Come on, man! I want to say stuff." So, Roy, it was a while back that we had you on the show to just talk about stuff, and then we had you on the show earlier with Q&A type stuff. And I even interviewed you at a local event that happened. We've had all sorts of different things. I mean, you've had Bridget on your show. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's just been going on. How are you been, man?
I've been doing good. My favorite memory of all this is legit getting into a conversation on Blab with Bridget about open source.
Oh.
Like, she was so anti-open source for being a WordPress person. It was shocking. But she's come around.
Intellectual property. You're giving away your intellectual property for free. I'm sorry, as a writer, I had a really hard time with that.
I'm a writer.
Of code. I know, but like I sell my writing and I get royalties from it.
And all your sentences and semicolons. Tab spaces doesn't matter. We don't judge.
I know, and now I'm like,
whoa.
And now I'm giving. And now
hold up. No, there's a clear judging here if you use spaces.
Okay.
But if you make the spaces with a GIF or a GIF, does that matter?
Well, GIFs are magical and don't exist. GIFs, on the other hand.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I mean, here's the thing, Roy. You're right. But that's the beauty of the free and open source community. Free and open source software community, FOSS. Look who's learning stuff.
Check you out.
I'm just telling you, it's more than just WordPress. There's Drupal, there's Joomla. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot that we have to offer people because we can make a path for our careers. That's why we give back. So, that's one thing that's impressed me about you, Roy, and all of your tribe. I was telling Rachel Cherry the other day, none of the WP crowd people ever talked down to me like I was a marketer and, oh, you wouldn't understand this. Everybody talked to me as if I understood what you were saying. I had no idea. Like years later, I remember I went to see Keenan Copenhaver at Cincinnati, talking about ACF. And I sat in there and I went, oh, that's what Kevin and Roy were talking about. Oh,
can I just say also from that conversation we had where Kevin and I were definitely Team ACF, that conversation was basically the invention of Gutenberg. Like straight up, they watched that episode and they're like, we need to do something like this, not ACF. Kevin and I on your airwaves invented it.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be the Al Gore, I invented the internet. WPblab invented Gutenberg. Go notify the tavern right away.
Oh yeah, we totally did. Because we were talking about how you can have blocks with data and how it's super modular.
You heard it here first, folks. And second, you're hearing it a second time now.
The Coots approves. James is like, he can't even handle this. I could see him in the green going like, oh my God, I got unmute me. But before we unmute the rest of the green room, Roy, tell us something that you've learned this last couple of months or something that can help the community at large. Something I can tweet. Make it a tweetable quote, please.
Something that I've learned.
You got more than 140 characters now, so you can dump something.
I don't know. That's way to put me on this.
That's what the episode's about. I'm not putting you on the spot. That's what we've been talking about for the last hour.
All right. I'm just going to go with my quote from today because I didn't even realize how prolific of a quote it was. But for every good developer, there's a good user, or there's a user. Sorry, let's do that again. It was, for every good developer, there's a user to give that developer purpose.
Yes!
There we go. Okay.
You said that in Advanced WordPress, Facebook, whatever it's called. Advanced.
Yeah, because I was talking about Gutenberg. And
AWP in the Facebook group.
So I was talking about Gutenberg because I released an article and a plugin that takes Gutenberg data and puts it in through the REST API, so you get access to like a nice array of data. And this guy was saying like how much he enjoyed like the idea of it and wanted it. And I was like, cool, give me some issues. Let me know what you need done to it. And he's like, well, I'm not a coder. I'm like, well, you're a user. And without you, I have no real like purpose to continue building this thing. But as soon as you start using it, I now have a reason to build it and like keep on working on it.
And I was like, blog post title. I make sure I add value every time I'm in AWP.
I'm not in there often.
Which is rare.
I'm in there.
But when I am.
People know.
Yeah, they do. Okay, that was awesome. No, that's true because users need developers, developers need users. It's the whole, if a tree falls in a forest, doesn't make a sound if nobody's there. Well, we know it does make a sound because sounds are waves. There's just nobody to hear it.
Yeah, but and users might be other developers, but they're still users.
Right. Because we all use this is like the opposite of being a drug dealer. You should never use your product. But this time you can have a cognitive dissonance if you're not using your product. I remember I started WordPress.com in 2007, and then WordPress.com decided to allow plugins and stuff. And Jason Cannell and I were like, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Well, I haven't used this in 10 years, so let's see what it looks like. And I was like, whoa, that's different. You know, you just, even if you knew it, whatever you knew 10 years ago, you don't know it anymore because it changes and everything evolves. That's tech. It's changing right now. Probably in 5 seconds, there'll be another Gutenberg update. So, like, it just rolls out.
I think, end of the week or early next week.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, you guys, like, that is so. I think, Roy, for me, if I had a wish for you, I'm going to be a mama bear right now. I would like you to say those things with more confidence. You know how you do your hero pose? Because just, own it. Own it. Okay, let's bring everybody back, JT. Here we are, Bridget and
Kevin, you need to unmute yourself so you can
tell Roy from the allegations that Kevin and I invented Gutenberg.
Staying out of it.
Hi, Roy.
I can neither confirm nor deny. I did not create that block. Let me be clear.
Hi, Roy. Big fan, first time caller, long time listener. I have a question for you. At WordCamp San Diego, you were talking about how you wanted to modularize WordPress. What did you call it? It was like Black Press or something like that. What did you call that?
There was a Backpress project.
Backpress. Yeah, that's
a long time ago. Yeah, and I was trying to bring it back up from the grave, but.
So Bridget, like Roy and I had this great conversation this one time. Like I told him I have no use for users. Like I don't need users on this site. It's just.
Uh-oh, he muted himself. I can't hear you, bro.
Google's like, nope.
I think you unplugged yourself.
I have no use for users.
Users,
Alexa, and then it turned off something. Oh man!
You really did lose your Ross. What's happening?
Mike Zuckerberg's like, we can't track this guy.
Maybe unplug your headphones. Oh, something happened. We'll get him back in a minute.
What happens when you start talking down on users?
I need to make another shout out. Go over to Matt Cromwell's Twitter because there's a video up of the epic troll of Ben at WordCamp San Diego. Where we had the whole after party singing him happy birthday.
But then a couple days later, it really was his birthday.
It was a sad day.
Russ, let's get a test from you real quick.
Really bad for troll reasons.
Yeah. Oh, Russ. Oh.
No, we can't hear you. Check the gear up in the top there, Russ, and see if you could try swapping it out.
Now this actually takes me back to Blab.
Right?
Not being able to hear us.
Well, what's wrong with this thing? It's not working.
That's exactly what used to happen routinely.
I love how Jason's always doing tech support. Like he's just like the first one on there. Like, all right, here you go.
That's my job, dude. That's my people living.
How do you get the IT? You could take the guy out of the IT. Take the IT out of the guy.
I have people that come up to me all day long are asking me, how do I print? How do I get this thing to print correctly? And I was like, when was the last time I printed? Like literally printed myself. I don't think I've ever had to print. No, I don't print.
Oh man, you want Jason to be the guy because you don't want it to be me. Because I.
What's the thing? When Jason's not around, it like defaults to someone else, right? Because we're all those people in like our families for the most part.
Right.
But when Jason's around, he's the IT guy. So like his IT-ness trumps all of ours.
Check. There you go.
Got you, Russ. She says, "You're my IT girl. Fix my Bumble profile for me."
Is that my friend Jason?
No, we're literally doing that now. Like our single friend, she goes, just hand Bridget her phone. Just hand Bridget your phone. She'll start you on Bumble.
Bridget is the new 3-year-old for WordPress. Like you know how like you can't figure out Snapchat, so you hand your kid the phone and like they do it. Bridget is now that for WordPress. So it's like, here, do this, Bridget.
Yeah. And people keep saying, "Oh, Bridget, I want a website. I hear you're doing something with WordPress." I don't build websites. Go hire Roy.
Dang.
Not hi Roy, hire Roy. Like
Ooh, we need to hireroy.org.
Oh, can we do hashtag hi and then hashtag RE and it looks like hire Roy?
Oh, that's funny.
How is this just happening now?
Right?
Yeah, can we have that trending?
Yeah, exactly.
This is the power of open source, Bridget, and this is why Roy will always win that argument.
Somebody needs to commit that fork right now.
Dude, we're starting a whole new show. It's called BizDev, and all we do is just BizDev everybody else's businesses.
I know that you guys would be so proud of me. Guess who wrote her first WordCamp talk in GitHub first?
No. Not only that, but she used freaking Markdown, which was just amazeballs. I couldn't believe it.
And I made my 3 points issues so that people could go and comment on them.
Yes.
Did you use the application that Jason recommended in like last week's program?
Sort of. I did a merging of that. I didn't use that slide thing.
She did a hybrid, is what she said. She took
the thing about that app though, Bridget, is it does both the presenter side as well as the person, as well as the presentation side. So it does both.
I don't do notes. I just talk. Yeah, but anyway, I want to try it, but I had to put Pressable's logo because they paid for me to go on every slide. So
you can do that. That's easy too.
Anyway, but I did it in GitHub. It's an issue.
Nice.
It's a repository. It's a repository.
So do you think your talk will make it to WordPress.tv now that there's a logo on every slide?
I don't know. It's not going to be a problem. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
My logo's on every slide of my talks.
That's what we did.
That's why yours don't make it.
They all do.
At GIF, we had our logo on every single slide.
James is starting crap. I love it.
No, I heard this before. It was something a couple months ago. There was a lot of stir about too much branding on.
I thought there was an email that went out in the community. So if you guys don't know, you can go to make.wordpress.org and sign up for the newsletters and be a part of the community that way. And I thought there was something that said that too.
I thought it was just for the people that weren't 100% GPL compliant.
Doesn't it have to be 15% of the screen, just like on Facebook? Is that how it's supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be like a quarter of the screen or something like that. Yeah.
Every slide's a Facebook ad.
We did off of every slide.
I would love just in the middle of somebody's slide deck for just an ad to pop up and you can't close it. And that's the work.
It needs to be like Talladega Nights, where in the middle of the movie they have an Applebee's commercial.
Yes.
So here's the thing.
I love this idea.
Stream it on Facebook Live and get more views than WordPress TV. So if WordPress TV wants to be like that, I don't care.
The WPwatercooler used to get more views than WordPress TV. The entire WordPress TV in our first 15 episodes got more views than them for the longest time, man. It was crazy.
I mean, I'm not supposed to say that probably. It's the marketing team rep, but whatever.
You're not the one trying to make the video SEO happen. That's not your job.
So Jason, did you have more video than they did, or did they have hours and you only had 15 episodes of half-hour shows?
15 episodes, half-hour shows, yeah.
So you beat them with less data. That should just show you that content is king in everywhere.
Yep.
And the thing that's really sad about that, though, you guys, is that WordPress TV is the greatest place. So I was in a bar the other day because WordCamps taught me how to go to bars. True story. So I was at a bar the other day and these kids walk in. They're tech people. They're IT, whatever. And I'm like, oh, what do you do? I'm in marketing. Have you heard of WordPress? Oh, we were just on, we're on HubSpot, but I want to learn WordPress.
Hi, Andy, Bridget.
Hi, Jameson. And so they go, I just don't know where to start. I'm fresh out of college. How do you even learn WordPress? I'm like, first of all, here's my card. Number 2, WordPress TV. And he's like, WordPress.tv. He lives in San Diego. He doesn't know about meetups. This young kid, it's I don't know, 20. I don't even think he has discounted auto insurance. That.
Now he can drive up with you.
No, he lives in San Diego. No, I don't. You got to run for president to date me. That's all I have to say about that. But I was just like, hey, this is a real thing. People don't know that WordPress TV is there. And he goes, well, what do I search for? I go, how about WordPress 101? You'll find
right.
Just sit there and watch them for free. It's this resource that everybody's like, go, Linda, whatever. We like Morton Rand Henderson. So go ahead and watch LinkedIn Learning. But I'm just saying, you can do a lot for free if you just look. But we have
me on Linda too.
Oh, do you have Caldera? Are you guys still doing stuff at Caldera Learn?
No, on Linda. You can't just plug Morton. I'm on Linda too.
Are you a Linda teacher?
I am.
I didn't know that. What do you teach? Angular? Yeah, that was your favorite. I don't see you wearing that hat anymore now that React seems to be the thing.
React hat, that's for sure.
Hashtag WP drama.
I had to tease her. I just say it like, who knows what's really going to happen. But anyway, yeah, for sure.
You offended him, Bridget, just so you know.
Roy knows I love him to death. I always talked about Roy.
Follow-up question for you. You said you made your last slides in GitHub, which is awesome.
No, I wrote my talk in GitHub.
You wrote your talk, sorry. How far in advance from the talk did you write it?
Okay, so it is progressing. I was literally telling Rachel, Cherry, I said, Roy said one day I'm going to be doing this in a hotel like all the rest of you people. But I was freaking out because I was like, okay, this is like 2 days ahead. It was like 3 days ahead. It was
that's too
pretty
early.
close for me.
Yeah, way too early. How do you know what you're supposed to talk about that far in advance?
Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I've been thinking about it. It's in my soul.
If I submit something like to talk at a WordCamp, like I've already said so much about it to where like I can just pull bits and pieces, like cherry pick all my commits, and like I could just put something together. But I still take like 2 weeks and like I work on it, man. Like I when I go to WordCamp, I want to learn and like I want to be right, and like I don't want to sit there and just be bored.
I'm not teaching code. I'm giving my opinion.
But like it's still a WordCamp talk, man. Like whether it is like I put that same drama in, and I think Bridget does too, and like that's one of the things that I love about WordPress.tv is like if you ever want to see the energy of the community, just watch that. Like everything is usually upbeat. It's so much fun. Yeah.
I dream about my talks though, because
I do too.
I can hear it in my mind.
I use Google Keep, and like when I walk Mitchell, like I think Jason does this too. Like I put my headphones in, these ones here, and I just turn on my microphone and I start talking, and like I'll have 30,000 words in like an hour, man. But like that's all that I do.
That's what I do too.
Well, Jason,
it's so much easier to just get it out of your head.
We have this great mastermind. Do you want to do tool and tip of the week?
Oh my gosh, this would be awesome if we did tool and tip of the week.
Can we?
I don't know. Let's see if these people can figure out something real quick. What's something that you use every day that you could talk about that would be something interesting for other people to go check out? You guys got anything? Who wants to be first?
I'll go first. I mean, it's not super amazing, but every day we use Google Hangout. Google Drive. So as a team, so we get to work on like in-progress documents or proposals as a team where people can leave, like inline comments or just edits or just go in like running notes. So we'll end up in a client meeting. We'll be both taking notes in the same documents, or like our show notes here. So I know that's probably been said before, but it's been a while, and that's something we use like all the time along with Slack. So we'll tie in Slack because that's also something that everyone knows about. But two things that everyone knows about makes one good thing.
Right.
Slack and
I am the biggest fan of the WP CLI. Like if you don't know what the command line tool is and like how easy it is to like do a find and replace to search everything in the database, like it's so simple, and like I urge everybody just go learn it. Like just do the very basic minimum stuff with it, and like you will love WordPress so much more. Like that is the best tool. I wish we were having that conversation about how that came on. Maybe that's another episode, Jason. I love it.
That might be another episode.
Well, because I saw somebody send a tweet that they learned, I think it was Casper, the umlaut baby guy. And he was like, I just learned how to blog on WP CLI. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Talk about a distraction-free editor. Boom.
Yeah.
That would be dangerous for me.
So I don't know if it's still there, but you used to be able to like send an email to your blog post. And dude, like I used to just do that. And like I used to do in the early days, like I would use the microphone and talk into Gmail, and then I would send an email and then to like have a blog post. And then I always had a typo, so I had to log in anyways. And I was like, okay, this is pointless.
That's awesome.
I got one.
Go for it.
Okay. So my tip is to look into BEM. It's a CSS naming convention. It's been around for quite a while, but I just recently was able to present on it and like tie it into Gutenberg. And Bridget, I presented BEM through Bitmoji.
Whoa!
So
Are you kidding me?
What?
You
Where's
used
this at?
Bitmoji for that?
So that tweet I just shared in the show chat. I don't know how you get it.
Oh my gosh, I gotta see this.
The other folks.
You know I love Bitmoji.
Can you see it if you click that tweet?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, I'm a big proponent of like teaching concepts first before you get into the tech. So,
person hair, person eyes, person. Oh my gosh, you're like.
Oh, that is awesome, dude.
So proud of you. I gotta favorite this and come back to it later.
That's cool.
So that's what I was able to do at WordCamp San Diego, and it just gets the point across before you get too deep into CSS naming and all that.
Bitmojis.
Yeah, look into them if you have trouble naming things.
BEM, block element modifier.
Yep.
That's fun, man. Very cool.
Thanks.
Who else got something? Anybody else?
Oops, I texted that to Julie on accident.
You got nothing? A whole lot of nothing, huh?
Lots of stuff.
I just
You're loving Beaver Builder right now?
Tell me about that new privacy terms organizer that you added to your email filter. All right.
Roy's like, what?
Yeah.
You guys haven't gotten 30 privacy term emails today? It was.
Oh yeah, it's been nuts.
I was reaching for a joke. No one picked it up.
I was going to say that this week I was playing around with
SVG.js,
which is a SVG library. You can play around with SVGs and do cool stuff with them. So if you want to do some complex animating with SVGs, definitely check that out. It's a really cool little library, and there's a lot of cool little plugins for it as well.
Nice.
But you also wrote a plugin.
I did write a plugin.
So
but I already talked about my plugin.
I know, but this is the tool and tip of the week, just in case somebody flipped over fast.
It seems very whatever. Yeah, go check out my plugin. It's on GitHub. It's called the Gutenberg Object plugin. And it takes Gutenberg data, and instead of saving it horribly, it saves it properly in the database.
In a table where it belongs?
And it, well, by itself as an array of data as opposed to HTML markup.
Okay. So if you want your Gutenberg data saved as an array the way it should be, not as markup, then go check out that plugin by Roy. Who wants their data saved in markup? That's just crazy talk.
So you're still saving the comment soup, right?
What comment soup?
The Gutenberg comment soup, like alongside this structured data?
Well, it saves in a new place. So I didn't want to obviously ruin Gutenberg, or sites that would want to turn it on. So it still saves. It just, I hack into the, not hack in. I call on a action in React when the post gets saved, and before it does the serialization of the data into the Goop, I latch on and then run through every single block, saving the data.
Because I was wondering how you keep the two in sync if someone updates your structured data.
It saves every time you save the post.
But does it go the other way if someone updates structured data and then you open it in Gutenberg?
No, it doesn't pull from it. But that should be an issue that you put into my GitHub, so that way I can update it and add that feature in, because it wouldn't be that hard, because it'd be the same thing but negative, like going the other way.
That's awesome.
Consider it done.
I love the collaboration that happens. So last week I talked about TouchNote, touchnote.com. It's an app that you can use to send your photographs as postcards or note cards through the mail. It integrates with your address book in your contacts, and it also will send canvases. So I got one. Yeah. So this is the 9x12. You were talking about the other. It's fully has the legitimate, thing to hang it on your wall. It's like a couple. You buy credits. The more credits you buy, the less expensive. This is my picture. I took this picture. I'm super proud of this picture.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Epic. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm gonna have something in front of my desk. That's my mom keeps saying, why don't you print your blah, whatever? Okay. And so I sent her a picture that I took of a pier. And then I sent the picture I did of the Sen I have a part-time job at a travel agency. So anyway, I thought this would be a good way to market to our clients. Like when you're somewhere, you can send postcards home or whatever. So I wanted to follow up because this is legitimate wood canvas. You know, it's canvas. It's beautiful. It's really inexpensive, and it goes from your app, and you don't have to like. It's not complicated, you know. So anyway, but the other thing I want to talk about, travel oriented. Since a lot of us do travel to other countries for WordCamps and stuff, it's the STEP program. A lot of people don't know about it. It's the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program with the State Department. I was told to do it because last year, because I'm a single person and there's nobody except for my mom kind of wondering where I am. So basically what you do is you enroll in the STEP program, which enrolls you with the United States Embassy. And then you can tell them where you're going and how long you're going to be there, basically, and give them an emergency contact. So if something happens, they know that you're there and to look for you. And that doesn't have to be something bad. It could be just a regular natural disaster or something, you know, whatever. It just makes you feel a little bit safer. So of course I did that for Belgrade and stuff like that. And so anyway, like it's just a good tip because it's not a visa thing. It's just basically letting people know where you are. And then it gives you alerts if there's something to safety wise or weather wise that you should know about. Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, step.state.gov.
That's awesome. That's an awesome one. I like that
too.
I like that a lot. That's really
Thanks,
cool. And then we got people that are traveling all the time. So it makes perfect sense. I have one for you, Bridget.
I need one.
Okay, so this one is, and there's plenty of these things. So if you go on Google and you do a search for a markdown editor, there's literally one every 5 feet on the Googles. But the one that's the simplest one that's free, and I could tell you one, you can spend $70 on a markdown editor if you really wanted to. But this one's totally free and it's super duper simple and it just works.
Okay, I got my pen.
It's called Macdown.
Macdown? Macdown, like Mac Daddy.
I was hoping you'd say that one.
So Macdown's pretty awesome. It's based kind of off of Meow, MOU. That was like the kind of the thing that started it with this. But the idea of this one is it's 2 panes. You type your text over on this side, and then it renders HTML on this side.
That's not confusing.
That's it. So you can just start typing in text, and then you'll see what it looks like over on the side. So you know, like, oh, this is bold, and this is this is program
based. I mean, it's not web based.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of web-based ones out there, but this one just for being able to write some markdown and be able to see what it looks like
on your legitimate computer.
Yep.
You're always. I wonder if this is your IT roots. Like I started using a program, a CRM at work, and it's like I go, really? We have to download it on my computer?
Why is this web-based? What the heck's going on?
Well, like when you think about it, like we're all in databases all the time. We're just not all on the back end of it, but it's all on the internet.
Well,
like,
and this thing is
slow. It took like 4 hours.
This is a file. This is a text file based database.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of text files. So yeah, it's the simplest form that you can do of some type of way of being able to look at the data. So you can just paste in your markdown, and then it shows you over on the right hand side what it looks like.
That's sweet. But pretty soon, I think I will start learning code. But first, I'm gonna get more clients.
Yep. You got Russ. I saw you muting and unmuting a few times over there. Oh no!
Perfect.
You're muted again. Now you're really muted. Oh man! All right, just sign language it real quick.
Just sign language it real quick.
We only got a couple minutes left, folks. A couple more minutes. Any final thoughts? Anything that you wanted to share?
Question for Bridget.
Yeah, go for it.
Sir.
Now that you're on the good side of the open source, would you go back or would you use what you used to believe not? What you used to do before, which you said not good for open source, would you implement open source now with that?
So here's the thing.
That was really confusing. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you have intellectual property, and if you decide to give it away, like people do on Unsplash, they're giving their photography away to do whatever you want with it. They're not even really asking for credit. They sort of started doing that. So it's your choice when you create something to give it or to not give it, right? And the thing that's good about something like WordPress, even though people are really, okay, the thing that's good about WordPress specifically, as opposed to proprietary software, is the fact that the business model isn't planned obsolescence. So when I was growing up, I had one toaster for my entire childhood. In the last 25 years, I can't even tell you how many toasters I've had. The American economy runs on planned obsolescence, meaning in a code-based language, that means breaking changes so that you have to pay to update. Okay, you break something on purpose, or you make something so that it will break in a time so that you can keep creating new customers like this, right? Because what's harder, getting a new customer or keeping them, right? So here's the thing. The good part about WordPress is that we can say, look, we're going to give you something that's not going to break. This is, now that I've converted to that way of thinking, this is the issue that I have with Gutenberg. Is there cognitive dissonance when you say that this is what we believe? We believe everybody should have the right to publish, and we are never going to break your site. So PHP versions aside, which will happen because the market's forcing it, and the teams are bringing awareness and that kind of stuff. The fact that we're not relying upon planned obsolescence is something that I believe in as a person, even though I'm the most hardcore capitalist that you'll ever meet. I like money and I want to make more money. So yes,
but without obsolescence, you can't. Yeah, you can't improve very much. You're limiting yourself with how much you can improve.
No, because it's the backward compatibility. So the backward compatibility allows you to go forward because you wrap the old code with the compatible code, right? Right?
Progressive enhancement, right?
Okay, progressive enhancement.
We should just do what Ford did and just said, you know what, we're just going to stick to trucks and we're not going to make cars anymore, and we're going to be done in 2020.
But here's the thing. So what happened with Ford is the EPA got involved and said, okay, now your fleet has to have an average gas mileage of this. And because they did that, Ford started producing Fiestas like there was no tomorrow. Fiestas have a very high gas. So I got mine for $13,000. Those things are literally loss leaders. So their only purpose for them being manufactured is to mess with the numbers, lies, damn lies, the statistics, and averages, right? So yeah, you can always out volume something and make the brand standards go low, but do you want to be PC or you want to be Apple? So it's really it's closed or open, proprietary or free and open. So the thing is, like, for me as a person, I love Google, but I use Apple products, and I feel like they're my parents who are always buying for my loyalty. So I feel like I've come to the place in my life and in my education where I give the answer you guys all give. What is the best solution for your customer and their business goals? That's the solution you take. The WordPress community will always be community, regardless of what the software is. I am never not going to be Kevin Hoffman's friend. It doesn't matter if I work at a travel agency and I don't work for a plugin developer, right? Nobody cares. It's not like, oh, well, you're not one of us anymore. You see what I'm saying? Because the relationships are what makes it valuable. And the thing is, Roy, because I still am talking about your question, this community is the people and the labor force that builds and maintains and creates and develops the software. And people forget about that. They think, oh, it's automatic. It's not. It's real people giving their time because they're realizing that their livelihood is based upon something that was donated, and so they donate back. WordPress, even at 15, is very much like the 1967 hippie movement, where people were really truly generous before they came in with the druggies and all the problems that they had with the bikers and the meth heads. So we're at a crossroads right now where we have to decide, do we want to stay with our core beliefs about democratizing publishing, that everybody has the right to have a TechCrunch.com website, or are we going to bow down to venture capitalists? Love, Bridget. Did I answer your question?
He's silenced. He's like, I didn't want to unmute. I don't even have anything to say. You guys are already 5 minutes over.
We used to be an hour and a half. It's fine. Look, you can mute him. I want to hear.
No, he's the one that muted himself. I didn't mute him.
Let's hear you, Roy. I want to know what you have to say about that.
I agree. I still think that having backwards compatibility slows us down.
Oh, it does, but
that's irrelevant of the community. The community is always going to be there.
Maybe. The community for each other, we're always going to, with the 5 of us, we're always going to be friends.
No, because it's always going to be there. You're talking about backwards compatibility with users, which is fine, but the code base doesn't need to be. Like, what do you care if WordPress was powered with Node as long as it looked and acted exactly the same?
That's the big giant caveat in the middle of the room, isn't it?
We also have a bunch of web hosts that only support PHP that don't do anything.
I'm just saying, like I think the minimum or the recommended for WordPress is still PHP like version 5 point something, right?
No, recommended is way higher than that. And we're working on that. The PHP core team is working on that. That we I know because I helped edit the Click Happy PHP thing with Felix Arnos. Like, people, if you want to be paying attention, like who said it earlier? I think it was Russ. Go to make.wordpress.org/update, subscribe to that blog, and you'll know everything that everybody's doing. That we're getting that higher, and the Growth Council's helping, and Yoast is making a big deal about it because it's ridiculous. We do need to get that higher. 7 is faster. Faster is better. Faster is better for everything. Performance, upgrades.
But it's not about what version. It's also how it's built, right?
Well, right. Everything, like, you could give the same building materials to 5 different contractors, and you're not going to want to live in every single one of those houses.
But you're giving a contractor the wood from a 15-year-old house and said, here, try to make this better, versus saying, oh, here's this new material. It's even better. Let's build with this instead.
Well, you know, if you want to use...
It's still a house to you. You can still enter it and go to your bedroom and fall asleep in your bed.
Well, here's the thing just to stay on your analogy, here's the thing that's great. Because WordPress is extensible and a platform now, you can use whatever foundation you want. You want a concrete foundation? Fine. You want to pour in a flat foundation? Fine. You want to put it up so that you can go on the basement and access your pipes? You could do that. You can use whatever framework you want. You can make it headless with the REST API. And I think we're way out of time. And I used all of the buzzwords.
End it right there. End it on headless with the REST API. About 100 episodes worth of progress.
Bridget, pull down that microphone and drop it real quick, and we're good. All right.
I love WordPress. I love the community, and I love this group even more. Thanks for being my friends. Thanks for watching our episode. If you didn't sponsor, you really missed out, because this one's going to get a lot of social shares. But you can sponsor WP Watercooler. Just ask Jason Tucker, WPwatercooler.com/sponsors. Jason, you want to tell everybody how they can find you?
Yeah, go over to WPwatercooler.com/subscribe, where you can learn how to subscribe to the content that we put out here. And we do a bunch of shows on WP Watercooler Network. We do WP Watercooler, WPblab, as well as Community Connections. And Community Connections happens on the same day that we do this particular show here once a month. So feel free to go take a look at that as well.
Oh, wrong link. You need a 301 redirect from my mishap.
Sounds good.
.com/sponsor. Oh, sponsor, not sponsors.
I'll make them both
redirect.
work.
I'm 301 redirect.
I know how regular expression works. All right, guys. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.